All right, welcome back. I mean, just listening to the CJ, and does that then mean that not many people are actually seeing it from that perspective? Because if you lose a case at a particular point in the whole process, that's part of the judicial system. So it mustn't go the way maybe some people want all the time.
Well, that's the truth. And if at the level of the High Court, it doesn't go your way, you still have every right to approach the appellate courts, and that's more reason why some of us have not lost hope, especially in this in the decision of the CCT. And come to think about it again, if we lose hope in the judiciary, where do we turn to? And we can only hope that it gets better. And there are so many insinuations there in the rumor mill, but then we won't really, as lawyers, want to believe in that. But then, I mean, if a man could come up and prove that the certain cases were actually compromised, then he should come out and say so. But for now, let's agree to, I mean, let's reconcile ourselves to the fact that there's already a judgment in place, and the judgment says that there is no case in that matter, and perhaps, like the other side rightly promised, and the CJN has said the obvious, that look, he's not really referring to this very matter, but then he says so that look, if a case is lost by an agency of the government or by the federal government at the level of the High Court, it wouldn't really mean that the stream has been, yes, but I want to agree that for Nigerians outside there, an average Nigerian perhaps might a bit, truly be disappointed.
Let me pick up on that. Do you think that at any point in time, and at what point could that be, that we threw caution to the wind when some of those cases began in different stages, CCT or High Court, because it was going to go one way or the other. Either you win or you lose. Because some people maybe thought, no, one track minded, you're going down on this.
Well, it's not unusual for an average person outside there, for someone who is not a lawyer to assume. Even it's not even unusual for lawyers to assume, because no, if not, why do you have opposing counsel in a single matter, and they seem to be seeing it from different angles? Perhaps another person might come here and will see it from different from the way I am seeing it now. I'm talking about the man who gave evidence over this transfer, the GTB transfer, and the fact that those houses were really listed and they were known. That's my personal opinion, really. And another lawyer may be here to say something contrary. And if we have this at the back of it, no wonder when an average Yoruba man will tell you that you don't come back from court and still be friends. But then lawyers don't really see it from that point.
You have followed through this process completely and looked at what has happened at the CCT and the eventual resolution of that case. And you still believe that perhaps something was not right with this case. You believe that this case is compromised. Why do you speak in that kind of term?
No, I don't believe that the case was compromised. No, I said in the rumor mills, people are assuming. People have said, I watched in social media that it was compromised. Sahara reporter said so. I have not said so. What I've said is that for me, there is a judgment in place. And the only thing you can do is to look at the judgment, the content of the judgment, and proceed higher to the appellate court if you fail. But for me, I don't. If I don't have any means of substantiating, then I shouldn't make that I wonder.
Markwe?
Yeah, I'm just a little curious. I mean, when this trial started and eventually the Senate president was in the accused box, he said that I'm only here because this trial, because I'm Senate president. He insinuated and has said it he said it rather clearly that all of this was political. Now, do you think that politics had any role in its resolution, or do you think that it was empty from the get-go because it was political?
Well, from onset, a good number of us we always believed, and we have said so, that look, it's either you are involved or you are not involved. And for us, it's not really about the fact that it was that's my personal opinion, that it was the Senate president. It doesn't matter how you get to a place. In fact, on few occasions when people come up with this idea that there is something called selective justice and all what, I keep asking the question. The truth must be said. It's not everyone on the street. It's not everyone that is involved in one political contest or the other that are included into it. And what he said eventually when his no case submission was upheld was that it is a triumph for democracy. So apparently he's not making reference to the fact that it was politically motivated again, but rather he's seeing it that it's been vindicated. And there is nothing wrong in a man having his own day in the court, and he has had his. And if the other side will not appeal it, then definitely that ends it. So for me, I won't want to read political meanings into all of this, and because it will be sad for somebody that sits in a judicial capacity to have political inclination. And if you recollect so well that a few judges outside there were once used by politicians to settle their scores, and apparently the government got wind of it, people got wind of it, and they were booted out. You recollect the panel of the Court of Appeal that was sent packing just because one Uber said he gave them 21 or 25 million, I can't really recollect now. And once it was found out, they were dismissed. I doubt if any man who occupies a judicial office will allow himself to be compromised by politicians. If you do, then definitely it's at your own peril. And I will not want to read political meanings to this.
So quickly then, are you looking forward to seeing an appeal with this case?
Personally,
you don't seem very happy with how it has proceeded.
Well, it's not really about whether I'm happy or not. It's about belief. I've seen certain things, and personally as a lawyer, yes, to a large extent, some of the charges should not stand. But again, few of them should stand. That's my own personal opinion. And if I were to be in the prosecution team, then that would be my recommendation, that few of the things that were done should, because it's either you have a prima facie case, you are not at that point in time expected to prove even beyond reasonable doubt. What you are supposed to do is to put before the court certain things that is worthy of being investigated. And I'm not talking about police. I'm talking about judicial investigation now, that will require you bringing up the other man to come and answer a few questions. And if we keep making reference to whether the prosecuting team or the investigating team was appropriate or otherwise, then definitely that for me is extraneous. It doesn't come up. It doesn't tally. That really is not a reason why a no case submission should be upheld. And again, the fact that somebody has said certain things, and the fact that you said the document could not be produced, then but then these allegations, are they not good enough? What is said, are they not evidential enough? Can't cases be proved with oral evidence? Must all cases must you bring up documentary evidence for all cases? No. That's my question, and I felt that, look, at that point in time, there should be a need.
Even though the judge said at that time, he said that you can't give a verdict on or conviction on hearsay.
Well, like we have said, the conviction is the second member of the panel will actually talked so much on this hearsay of a thing, and the basis of saying that was that they acted, the investigative panel, team. There was a team set up that comprised of EFCC and all whatnot, and that this man has just come up to represent all of them, and that in that wise it's because it's an hearsay evidence. And some of us keep saying that in investigation you have teams of policemen and law enforcement agents coming together to do investigation. One man goes to court. All of them doesn't have to, and that to me shouldn't be a basis for declaring that the evidence of that man was hearsay. That's my own personal opinion.
Okay, then I will thank you for coming on. Adekunle Ojo is the former second vice president of the NBA.